Hello everyone, I'm Nabil Qureshi, a chartered accountant, and today I'm going to explain a topic that often causes confusion. Which employment expenses can be claimed through your UK tax return? Who qualifies? And the strict criteria set by HMRC. If you are an employee and you have ever wondered whether you can get tax relief for costs you have had to cover for your job, this session is for you. First, let's clear up a common misunderstanding. Not every employee can claim expenses back from HMRC. You can claim if you have personally paid for certain costs that were necessary for your job. Your employer did not reimburse you for those costs. The expense was wholly, exclusively, and necessarily incurred in doing your job. But you cannot claim if your employer has already paid you back, either fully or partially, and the expense has any personal benefit, for example, ordinary clothing or commuting to your regular workplace. Or you are self employed, in that case, you claim business expenses, not employee expenses. Now, what types of expenses are allowable? HMRC applies strict rules, but some common examples include business travel, for example, train fares, fuel costs, parking, or hotels, but only when you are traveling for work purposes, not commuting to your normal office. Professional fees and subscriptions. If you pay membership fee to an HMRC, approved professional bodies, or trade union relevant to your role. Work equipment or tools. For example, specialist tools or protective clothing you must buy to carry out your duties. Working from home costs. If you are required by your employer to work from home, you can claim a flat rate allowance or, in some cases, actual additional costs such as electricity or business phone calls. Uniforms or protective clothing. If it's distinctive or protective, not everyday wear. Now, these are the key areas, but remember, HMRC will always check whether the expense was genuinely necessary for your role. A lot of employees assume they can claim for travel to and from their permanent office. This is classed as commuting and is not allowed. Ordinary clothing for work, unless it's protective or required uniform, this does not qualify. General training courses, unless they're essential and directly related to your current job role. So, the golden rule is ask yourself, would I have incurred this cost only because of my job? If the answer is yes, it may be claimable. There are two main ways to claim. First, through a self assessment tax return. If you already filed one, you enter your allowable expenses in the employment section. Two, through HMRC's online system, Form P87. If your expenses are under £2,500 for the year and you don't usually file a tax return. If your expenses are more than £2,500, you would need to complete a tax return even if you don't normally do one. HMRC will then adjust your tax code or provide a tax refund depending on your circumstances. Here, I'll give you some practical tips. Keep records and receipts of all your expenses. HMRC may ask for evidence. Check if your professional subscriptions are on HMRC's approved list before claiming. If your employer reimburses part of the expense, you can only claim for the unreimbursed amount. Don't assume, always check the HMRC guidance or ask a qualified advisor. So, to sum up, employees can claim certain expenses back through the tax system, but the rules are strict. It must be money you personally spent for work purposes only and not reimbursed by your employer. Getting it right can mean a useful tax refund, but getting it wrong could lead to HMRC rejecting your claim. If you're unsure, speak to a chartered accountant or check the HMRC website for detailed guidance. Thank you for listening, and I hope this helps you understand what you can and what you cannot claim through your tax return. Contact Taxaccolega Chartered Accountants if you think you are eligible to claim expenses by calling on 0208 127 0728. Thank you.